We're live.
Greetings and welcome to Capitalism, episode 12 of Something in the Dark. I am your host and game master, Aaron. Something in the Dark is an actual play of Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG, from Green Ronin Publishing, using concepts and themes from the Supernatural Handbook, and is set within the connected version of Earth Prime that can be seen in more offerings from the Untold Stories Project than I can easily recount. Mutants and Masterminds is a D20 based system which allows players and GMs to create stories featuring all of the greatest heroes of their imagination. It's flexible enough to handle most superheroic shenanigans, complex enough to handle those really weird situations, and simple enough to actually be easy to play. One of the things that I love about this game is the inclusion of hero points. Now, these let our heroes re-roll a die, take an extra action, recover from a dangerous condition, or use their powers in new and creative ways. Our heroes each get to start with one of these hero points, and they can get additional points for good role-playing, funny jokes, clever decisions, from me using their weaknesses against them, and by your generosity. If you subscribe, renew a subscription, or donate bits to the stream, you will generate a hero point that can be given to the player of your choice. We've already got a couple of those sitting in our chat as our players have gone in and renewed their subscriptions. We're a small but growing little streaming network. All of those likes and follows and subscribes really help keep us visible and growing and paying all of our bills. Now, a quick word of warning. Unlike some of our other shows and streams, this show is rated M for mature. While it deals with superheroes and is set on Earth Prime, this is intended as a horror stream. On the show, we will be dealing with issues of mental health, body horror, kidnapping, torture, murder, drug use, and similarly adult topics. This show... What was that?
Like capitalism.
Like capitalism. This show is not suitable for younger audiences and may trigger some adults. In addition, while the show will mostly take place in the city of New Orleans, and we have stolen liberally from the real-world version, our Earth Prime version may be slightly different in terms of names and places. As a final note before we get started, we have a partnership with Norse Foundry Dice, and through that partnership, all of our viewers can get 10% off any purchases from Norse Foundry by using the code USP Norse with no space on their website. We're out of the holiday season now, so you're allowed to spend money on yourself again. Yay. So with all of that out of the way, let's meet our players for tonight, shall we? Say, it belongs in a museum, heroes.
It belongs in a museum, heroes.
Vicky?
Wow.
Yeah, that was terrible. Heroes, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourselves. Tell us your name, who you're playing, where else our listeners can find you, and answer our question of the week, which is, what is your favorite cursed artifact in media? And we'll go ahead and start with Brandon.
Crap! I completely forgot the question of the day. Hi, everyone. My name is Brandon. And in this game, I am playing... My brain has just stopped working entirely.
Orpheus and Eurydice?
Yes, those two. Orpheus and Eurydice. Who love each other and stuff. Answer the question of the day, because I have totally been thinking about this all day. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Ark of the Covenant, just because, I mean, that face melting scene just sticks with you. It's iconic. And you know, whenever I think cursed artifact, that's like the first thing I go to. So I will pass it to Alex, who I know will have a much better answer than me.
I don't know about a much better answer, but I do have an answer today. I love this question. I had too many answers. I didn't narrow it down. But my name is Alex Thomas, and I am the line developer for Mutants and Masterminds at Green Ronin Publishing, as well as the author of the Titan City Chronicles and the executive producer here at the Untold Stories Project. And today I will be playing the role of Anson Walker. the protagonist of the aforementioned Titan City Chronicles. He's a grumpy wizard who is not here for all of this modernity. It's great. As for the answer to the question of the day, my favorite cursed artifact is the various renditions of the Necronomicon from the Evil Dead. Yeah, I love that book. I love Deadites. I love Bruce Campbell. It's all just so good. It's so good every time. My other choice I was thinking about was the Lament configuration from Hellraiser. But I
Not cursed, but okay.
You mess with it and it kills you. It feels like a curse to me. I'll pass it over to Wiki.
Hi, I'm Wiki. The Lament configuration is not cursed.
Is it possessed?
So, I play Harper Graves, our resident demon stabber person. And to answer the question, I, interestingly, couldn't actually think of very many things that I would consider cursed artifacts. And then I suddenly remembered the best cursed item ever invented. And it is Laszlo's hat from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah. Is it an artifact, though?
I mean, what makes something an artifact?
Alex, what's our literal definition for artifact?
Listen here, you old shits. All words are made up. Nothing matters. You taught me that.
If we're saying that doesn't count, Bracelet of Anubis.
It's a good one. I mean, honestly, the actual dictionary definition of artifact is an object made by a human being.
Honestly, I'm just happy that she didn't call out the fact that the Ark of the Covenant definitely is not cursed.
It's not.
I'm gonna look up the definition of cursed. We'll add it. We'll figure this out.
Go team.
You gonna call on someone else?
Oh, sure. How about Deuce?
We're firing on all cylinders tonight.
Look, it has been a very long week.
Oh, I mean, you saw my
It's
disaster
Tuesday.
of response, so
I stand by my statement.
Fair enough. Well, howdy everybody, I'm the Deuce. I am the Wild Wild West to Kevin's Just the Two of Us of Will Smith songs of the Untold Stories Project. I play Larry, the mild-mannered priest, and his dark passenger Babel. And to answer our question of the day, I went back to the well and looked at the cursed artifact that the mechanic, inventor, Gustav Steubenfeld created and cursed his wife to inhabit, thus creating essentially a metal prison she can never escape, and that being, once again, Herbie the Love Bug. And with that, we're going to Steph.
I quit.
Yay, you broke Wiki.
It's 2 Herbies in 1 series. On fire.
Wiki, where's his? That's not a real cursed object.
You know what? I give up. I don't think y'all know what curses are.
I think the spirit of your dead wife bound into a Volkswagen Beetle counts as a cursed object.
Curse for who, though?
So here's the thing. The Oxford Dictionary defines it as invoke or use a curse against. Or be
As
afflicted
a teacher,
with.
I'm calling foul for using the word in the
that's not helpful. Yeah.
It also is used to express annoyance or irritation, but that's a different kind of cursed.
I feel like Aaron feels that about me every week, but all right.
Yeah, Deuce is my favorite cursed object.
There you go.
Go, Steph, go.
Steph, save us.
So I'm Aunt Puppy. I play Professor Daffodil Carrie Pembroke. She can move things with her mind. She can move non-organic things with her mind that have now resulted in lots of questions on what counts as non-organic. So I'm not a huge horror fan. But I do love the show Supernatural, which I know is not like real horror, but like, I don't know, it scared the shit out of me sometimes. So I count it as horror. But one of my favorite episodes was when they essentially lose their luck. So they lose being they lose basically being God's favorite. So when they have to go to a bar and like play pool in order to win the Tiamat coin, which brings luck, but it also sows chaos. So that was like one of my favorite episodes because it was just ridiculous that like they got sick because they're not God's favorite anymore. So it was just one of my favorites that they had to go do this ridiculous thing in order to get a coin to bring back all their luck, but that it also ensued chaos. So that was, to me, that's fun. Like when wishes go bad, it's like genies. I love when genies like misconstrue like people's like wishes. Like I wish for $1 million, and they like turn you into $1 million kind of thing. Like I just think those are funny. So because it like makes you get real specific. Also, an episode of What We Do in the Shadows, which was also one of my favorites. So that is mine. So I will give it back to Aaron.
Are the spoilers over?
Yes.
Yes.
So for me, my favorite cursed artifact from media is the Aztec gold from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Mm.
The pieces of 8.
But they're not pieces of 8, they're
It's a
Aztec
pile.
gold. In the real world, my favorite cursed artifact is the roll of Superman.
Damn.
Wow.
He went there.
I did.
I respect you for it. I fear and respect you for it.
So when last we saw our heroes, they had concluded their business in Louisville, Kentucky, having successfully stopped the murders that were being committed by the little girl slash demon known as Surge. They also discovered that Mr. Quacker's influence had spread far and wide, and they put a stop to some of that for the future, although there is one of his seeds which remains unaccounted for. I'm sure that won't show up later on in this campaign.
Yep, I'm sure that's fine.
Phrasing.
Back in New Orleans, our heroes settled back into their lives, and we had a little bit of time pass. Our heroes got through the holidays, through Thanksgiving, and then in early January, Eurydice received a phone call from Asher Levi, a antique store owner who has a back room where he sells magical artifacts, and he told Eurydice that his shop had been broken into the previous night, probably by a supernatural entity. And that is where we are going to pick up. So I believe when we left, Eurydice, you were getting ready to start calling people and summoning the squad.
Yep. So which one of these chuckleheads would I call first? Anson, of course. But does Anson have a phone? Probably not.
I do now. It's been like 3 months that I've been in this weird timeline.
Yeah, but still, you never know.
I don't answer it very often, but I have one.
Yeah, how hard it was to find a cell phone with a rotary dial on it.
So I will call Anson and hope that he's learned how to answer.
Hello?
Hey, Hanson. We have a problem. There seems to have been a break-in by super powered individual of some sort in special collections of a shop, and we need to go check it out. Can you help me start reaching out to everyone and so we can gather up?
Yeah, I suppose so. I've figured out how this texting thing works. Marcus keeps showing me.
Awesome. Here is the address. I am already here. So just
Did we go to Asher's place on my first adventure?
You guys had walked past as he was locking up.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I asked him to look out for interdimensional portals. That's right. I remember now.
Right. Carrie and Micah have both shopped there with some regularity. So they know where it is very well. And honestly, with 3 months having passed, I would be surprised if Anson hadn't gone there at least once to look around at the special collection.
Yeah, I've at least gone there to give him grief for selling magical items to people who don't know how it works.
Fair.
and once I've hung up with Anson and he reminded me that texting is a thing, I will shoot out a text to everyone.
Score one for the greatest generation.
All right.
Just tell them
Micah will respond back in class. We'll
why
get
are you on your phone?
what?
Then why are you on your phone? Middle finger emoji.
Yeah, what time of day is this happening?
Early morning.
Do we know? Is it?
I'd say
Is
like
it
8 a.m.
Tuesday in real
I got
life?
the call at 8 a.m., I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think I said it was about 8 a.m. And yeah, Tuesday.
Wild.
Just confirming whether or not Carrie would be in class or not. And she is not in class. She
Okay.
has labs, but she is not in class.
Okay.
Is this a group text or
I'm going to text everybody individually because I haven't figured that function out yet.
so
But
the minute I
have-
get so like
Oh,
when I get the group text gets a return message of if you ever contact me this early in the morning again, I'm going to test your immortality. And then just a bunch of knife emojis.
I was like, okay, see you soon! Exclamation point, heart emoji.
Knife emoji, knife emoji, knife emoji.
Carrie won't respond at all. She'll just go.
Very short.
Assuming she would act exactly like I would act in real life and think that I responded to somebody and I responded in my head, and she would just leave the lab and go.
Anson will ask if she needs a ride.
Will you direct it specifically at her, or will you just say, "Do you need a ride?" Thinking that it's a single text.
Yeah, it's going to be straight to Carrie because he thinks it's a single
Okay.
text.
She will also not respond until like 10, 15 minutes later, after she's like already ready and is leaving, and be like, "Oh no, it's fine. I'm rolling." She's not walking, so she's rolling.
Rolling.
Because if it's anything like where I put his shop in the book, it's relatively close, and she prefers being outside anyway, so she would prefer walking or rolling.
Okay.
Very shortly after your text, a familiar white church fan's going to pull up and Larry will walk out with 2 styrofoam cups, which he'll hold one out to Eurydice. Or is it D?
D.
I got 2 hot chocolates left. Want one?
Thank you very much. Yes. Ooh, it's lovely.
Yep, I was
And
passing some out.
she adds a little mint.
About a
little
half an hour after the whole group chat thing happens, uh, Harper will send a message to, send a text to Muse. We're out of Eggos. I guess I'll go meet these chuckle fucks.
Hey, that's us. We're the Chuckle Fucks.
We got our team name, everyone.
We can't call ourselves the Chuckle Fucks. That'd be the team everybody wants to sign up for at Origins.
That is true.
And then I'll proceed to climb out the window and make my way to the store.
Okay.
The store to get Eggos or the store to look for artifacts?
So,
Yes.
by the time all of you are there, Asher is out in front of his store, sweeping up broken glass because the front window was shattered. You all can, the bars, the grating that was across it, looks like it was torn apart. And then looking into the interior of the store, the main storefront is just a mess right now. It looks like it was just tossed as someone went through looking for something. And Asher will look to whoever arrives first and just say, yeah, they did quite a number here.
Did you get a look at who they were?
Well, I wasn't here.
That's probably for the best.
But
they probably would have killed you.
Let me explain why I thought it was better to call you than to just speak with the police.
You know what's
Because you
missing?
sell illegal things here?
I do not sell illegal things here.
Should be.
Honey, do you need some hot chocolate?
Isn't that just melted chocolate?
Yeah. Try it.
Tastes like ashes.
Anyhow, so I do have cameras, of course. However, whatever broke the window, broke the bars, and came in does not appear on the camera.
Vampires.
Perhaps that entity did the initial rummaging through the store, did not enter my back room, but and did not, as far as I could tell, nothing left the store from it. Or at least I didn't see anything be carried out of the store by an invisible presence on the cameras. However, later in the night, a group of 3 people, 2 men and a woman, wearing Mardi Gras masks, came into the store and rifled through and did take quite a bit of stuff. And I'm working on a list already, but I don't have it quite finished yet. And they did go into the back room.
Did you have anything
Are we
special back there that's missing?
Well, from the back room, yes. What was missing from the back room was a necklace a dagger, a collection of runestones, and 3 books, 3 fairly old books. And he's going to pull out a ledger that has photos of each of them, and I'm going to show them to you. So first is the necklace.
Oh, pretty.
Anyone who would like can give me a expertise magic or expertise history or expertise religion or occultism.
Can I roll for Orpheus and then you just hang on to it until if he shows up?
Sure.
Uh,
Right, because they can't
25
speak.
on occult.
Yeah.
25 on occult?
Correct.
Orpheus got a 32.
Okay.
Anson says, "What do you mean it's magic? It doesn't even have a gemstone on it."
Right. So this necklace is a voodoo. I'm never going to pronounce this word properly. Veve means an emblem for one of the Loa. This Veve is the one for Papa Legaba, who serves as the intermediary between God and humanity. Papa Legaba stands at the spiritual crossroads and gives or denies permission to speak with the spirits, and is believed to speak all human languages. In Haiti, he is known as the Great Elocutioner. He facilitates communication, speech, and understanding, and is commonly associated with dogs. His name is invoked at the beginning of almost every ceremony, because, well, he is the communicator with the land of the spirits. This is absolutely a legitimate Veve, but this particular necklace is more or less mass-produced and probably does not have any real supernatural properties. It's something that a real practitioner might own, but it probably doesn't have any power in and of itself. That's what both Harper and Orpheus can tell by looking at it. Asher does not actually have the ability to determine if something is magical or not, so he kept it with the magical stuff just in case.
Yeah, that's where we put weird necklaces with the magic stuff.
Let's see. What else did I say it was stolen?
Dagger.
Some runestones.
And 3
Right.
books.
They have found a runestone.
So the dagger, you should all be able to see it right now.
So pretty.
And I will again take an expertise in any of those 3 fields to see what you can tell about it.
Oh, 20. That's not bad.
27 occult.
Jesus.
Only 21.
It's almost like this is what I do.
Yeah. All right. So this dagger was once owned by Alice Keiteler. Dame Alice Keiteler, who lived in the 1200s until the early 1300s, was the first recorded person condemned for witchcraft in Ireland. She fled the country to either England or Flanders. There is no record of her after her escape from persecution. Her servant, Petronella de Meath, was flogged and burned to death at the stake on November 3rd, 1324, after being tortured and confessing to the heretical crimes that she, Keiteler, and Keiteler's followers were alleged to have committed.
So
Keiteler
this is her
was...
infamy?
Yes. Keiteler was brought up on charges originally by her, well, not by her husband, but by the her fourth husband believed that she was poisoning him, and that's what brought attention to her. All of her other husbands died, kind of suspiciously.
Good for her.
And
Hey, didn't your ex die suspiciously?
Good for you.
No.
Hey, you can't say that.
It was
You're
under
right now.
suspicious circumstances,
Oh,
not
So,
suspiciously.
some of the formal charges that were brought against Keiteler include denying the power of Christ and the church,
Ugh.
sacrificing animals to the demons Artis Phalus and Robin Artisan, asking demons for information, having a sexual relationship with the incubus Robin Artisan.
Well, I mean, it's an incubus. What else are you going to do with it?
Well,
I mean, extra good for her.
do demons just have human names in your universe?
this one does. Creating powders and ornaments and potions from multiple alarming ingredients, including but not limited to the body parts of unbaptized children, worms, skulls, and chicken innards. And then, of course, for bewitching and killing her husbands to take their money for herself and her biological son.
Super good for her.
Are these allegations?
Those are the charges that were brought against her.
Okay.
Now, with a 20 on your check, you would also know that Alice did survive and escaped from persecution and became apprenticed to the master mage of the earth at that time. You would also know that her dagger, her anathema, is capable of harming supernatural entities and is rumored to have additional enchantments.
Well, somebody's trying to kill something specific, it sounds like.
Quick, somebody called Sam and Dean Winchester.
I don't suppose
Make
it
sure
says
they're
what
ready.
kind of supernatural entities it can kill, does it? Or is it just vaguely supernatural entities?
I mean, it doesn't say this is what Harper is able to recall.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you stab something hard enough, you're going to harm it.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Things don't like it when you stab it in the heart.
Nope.
All right. The rune stones. They are a set of Norse rune stones carved into amethyst. And again, I'll take expertise checks to see what you know about these rune stones.
I'm going to abstain from rolling because that's not a kind of magic that we have in the Titans of the Universe.
No, although it is gem magic. There are gems involved. You wouldn't know anything about the runes, but you might know something about the properties of the stones.
Not here, boy. Got a 28.
Yeah, 19.
I got a 19. I don't really like gem magic, apparently.
Apparently not.
Doesn't seem like something Harper would enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't come across it that often in my line of work.
So, Harper, what you and Larry know about these stones, and Anson, they do appear to be a common set of rune stones, albeit they are in a precious stone. You also know that using amethyst for these stones would orient them to being used for healing magic, emotional manipulation focused on calm or love, and that they could also be oriented towards protective magics. Brandon, the other thing that I'm just going to message you.
Okay. I will read it if I transform into Orpheus.
Okay. And then the books. And it's a shame that Jemmy is not here.
Uh-oh.
I can read.
Well, no, it's that one of the books is right up there.
Oh,
So the first book is called The Arbitel de Magia Veterum. It is a Latin grimoire of Renaissance ceremonial magic published in 1575 in Sweden, or Switzerland. That is common, or not common knowledge, but that's what Asher can tell you about it because, he researched it.
Asher's not a good judge for this, but does he think it's legit?
Yeah, I mean, that's why he keeps it back here instead of... Again, I'll take expertise checks if someone would like to try to figure out what they know about it.
31
Damn.
for Not Here Boy.
For not here, boy. Not here, boy. Not here.
25.
26.
14.
Okay. Harry, do you not have an expertise magic?
She rolled.
Yeah, I've
She's
rolled.
been rolling it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, 25, 24, 26.
I just couldn't find my screen. It minimized itself somewhere and then refused to open. So I have no idea what I've rolled.
So what you would know about the Arbitel is that it is noted among magic practitioners for being straightforward in its writing, positive in its contents, and unusually honest regarding its origins. A number of occult works will claim to be from earlier periods in other regions than where they were actually published. This one, by all accounts, really was published in 1575 in Switzerland, although the author remains unknown. The Arbitel mainly focuses on the relationship between humanity, celestial hierarchies, and the positive relationship between the two. It also features Olympian spirits, but those are not the Greek or Roman gods. They are spirits that don't appear to be referenced anywhere else. The book is devoid of black magic, has no connection to the greater or lesser keys of Solomon. And unlike many grimoires, the Arbitel actually tells the people who read it that they should remain active in their community instead of isolating themselves, favoring kindness, charity, and honesty over remote and obscure rituals.
They just don't make Satanists like they used to.
It's not. I mean, it really does appear to be as close to white magic as exists.
The magic.
And Orpheus knows a little bit more about it.
It's actually the Necronomicon.
Don't read from it.
And I just sent that to Brandon. The next book is the Galdwerbach.
Bless you.
Thank you.
That's that thing they knock back and forth in badminton, right?
It is an Icelandic grimoire, which is dated back to around 1600. It's a fairly small manuscript containing a collection of about 47 spells.
What language is it in?
The spells are mostly in Latin, although there is some also German. And again,
29.
Ugh, 17.
Orpheus knows nothing about this one. Or not nothing, but little.
It's a book.
Appears to run on some kind of paper.
Oh, Terry knows even littler about it.
Yep. All right, so Harper and Larry, you both know that the manuscript contains a total of 47 spells. It was compiled from 4 different people, starting sometime in the late 16th century and going on until the mid 17th century. The first 3 scribes were Icelanders, and the 4th was a Dane working from Icelandic material. Harper, you also know that the various spells consist of Latin and runic material, as well as Icelandic magical staves, invocations to Christian entities, demons, and the Norse gods, as well as instructions for the use of herbs. Some of the spells are protective, intended to work against problems such as trouble with childbearing, headache, insomnia, previous incantations, pestilence, suffering, and seasickness. Others are intended to cause fear, kill animals, find thieves, put someone to sleep, cause flatulence, or bewitch women.
Or all at the same time.
And although the original grimoire is dated back to the 1600s, there was a diplomatic edition published in 1921 with a Swedish translation, which can be gotten, I don't want to say mass market, but through bookstores that specialize in that sort of thing.
And Amazon.
That would remove the flatulence one.
However, Asher had were some of the original pages.
Cool. Hey, that one's got farting magic in it.
Yeah.
You have magic for that here?
I remember thinking that was hilarious when I was about 12.
And the final book is called the Sefer Harazim.
So 4 books were taken?
3. The Galdra book, the Arbatel, and the Sefer.
Okay. I thought this was the 4th one for some reason.
No, you have the necklace, the dagger, the runestones. They're all in your journal now. Larry gets a 12. Orpheus has an 18.
No, Larry got a 16.
Oh, Larry got a 16.
I got a 12.
Wow, we rolled like crap for that one.
Yeah, we really don't like this book.
We're focused on the
20.
Icelandic magic.
Harper, you know that it's a Jewish magical text, supposedly given to Noah by the angel Raziel, passed down throughout history until it ended up in the possession of Solomon, for whom it was a great source of his wisdom and magical powers. It's thought to be a source book for Jewish magic, calling upon angels rather than God himself to perform supernatural feats. But that's all you know about it.
I will take a
perhaps the character who is actually focused on Kabbalah magic might have a little bit.
Harper will take a picture of the I guess what it is what we're looking at is like an inventory thing, I'm assuming. So she'll snap a picture of that and text it to Muse with a this was one of the things taken.
WTF.
Text us what you know. And then send that, and whenever they're not in class, I'm sure they'll let us know.
Yep. And they'll get to us when Jemmy gets here during break. So those are the things that were taken from the back room. Most of the things in the back room, everything in the back room is kept under lock, and you can see that several of the locks were attempted to be broken open, but
So
those,
my first question is going to be, are we sure these two things are connected? Are we sure that the second group of people weren't just some opportunists who saw that the store was broken into and decided to come in and help themselves?
Yeah, was the smash and grab just a smash and grab?
Well, what I'm wondering, is there any kind of thematic unity to any of it? Because Brandon can't figure it out because that was a whole lot of stuff. We spent like 30 minutes describing that stuff.
Well, if you take out the talisman, which is more or less not exactly fake, but it's not super useful. It's not real magic. If you take that out, the first thread is magic itself, like witchcraft type magic. That would be the first thread, like, casting spells, and that all seems to be involved in everything that was taken. I mean, it's different schools of magic, as it were, but it's all versions of the same thing, if that makes sense. Like, the religions are different, but the goal is the same.
Yeah, but it all does seem to be religious magic in some way.
Are they all religious?
Or which is
I
a
think they all
religion in
seem
your
to be-
world?
Yes,
Then, yeah, I think they're all.
usually.
Hey, Aaron, in this world, are
Yes.
witches religious?
are witches per se don't really have a whole lot to do with the Abrahamic deities or their inverse. So witches are not devil worshippers, nor are they, nor do they tend to call upon the Abrahamic God.
Do they call on another kind of god?
Nature, mostly.
Because the Loa thing is also a religious talisman.
It is.
Yeah.
So you have even a general idea of what might have been taken from the front room?
So while you guys were looking through there, he basically gave you guys the catalog and said, here's the things, just figure out what you can about them. Because he'll even say, I'm not a practitioner myself. You know that. From the front room, he will tell you that things that have been taken include, a couple of modern guns, like just handguns, because he does have a focus in weapons and coins. He has figured out that there is an antique French vase that has been taken. Now that he's had time to look through it, he can see that out of the jewelry case, 3 necklaces, 2 rings, and a brooch were taken. And 1 book of rare coins that he had foolishly not locked up while closing up last night, and so it was still on the counter, has also been taken.
what kind of security is involved in getting access to the special collection? Is it like a standard lock, or does there anything special about that?
Well, so there are several locks on the door. So, there's a pad, a deadbolt, a secondary lock, and then also a lock in the handle. Um, and there are some protective runes carved into it, which Asher, you would know that Asher did not put them there himself. They were put there by a grateful customer, but
So yeah, I'm thinking the stuff out here was a different person than the stuff in there.
Well, does he have cameras out here?
yeah, I mean, yeah, he can show you the cameras. That's actually partially how he's narrowed down what's been taken, because everything is a mess, but not a whole lot was actually taken yet. Um, yeah, and he can bring up the security cameras for you.
Yeah, let's watch the footage from last night, and if we see anyone who's not invisible on it robbing the place, then we know they were unconnected crimes.
Well, yeah, no, there were people who were not invisible. There were people who, several hours after the invisible entity showed up, two men and a woman wearing Mardi Gras masks came in, and they were the ones who actually took.
And they weren't invisible.
No, they were visible.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's how you knew they were wearing Mardi Gras masks. Duh, Alex.
Part of my concern is just if he has access to some things of arcane nature, maybe he had some in the front and didn't realize it. Was
Possible.
part of my concern. Well, I want to see what else was taken.
One thing that you will be able to determine is that the locks to the back room were damaged by the invisible entity. Looking at the timestamps, you can see that the damage to the locks was done while the invisible entity was ransacking the place.
And was it the invisible entity that broke the window?
Yes, and tore open the security gate.
Okay.
What is the security gate made of?
Steel.
Okay. Do I know of anything that can be invisible or is invisible and has the kind of strength necessary to rend steel?
I don't know.
Because those two things together seem pretty specific.
They do. Oh, that is fun, and puppy.
Because I couldn't remember how well I had made that they knew each other.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh, let me go back and read what I said. And it was literally, she goes into looking for the thing she's looking for, and he's examining a dagger he had just obtained. So in my mind, I'm thinking that was this dagger.
It may very well be. For the sake of fun, I'll say it is. So you would recognize the dagger from that. What did you roll investigation for, just out of curiosity?
I assumed we were gonna start investigating, so I was just preparing.
Okay.
I figured she probably was doing things like around and was just kind of waiting until that was a thing they were all actively doing. But I figured she's probably connecting to the cameras, tapping into systems.
Sure. So
photographing.
one thing that you will be able to determine very quickly, also because you actually understand the modern world and live in New Orleans. The masks that were worn by the three people who broke in are the kind of Mardi Gras masks that you can find in any number of stores up and down Bourbon Street and in the area. They're not handmade ones. They are the mass-produced kind that are often sold to tourists.
Yeah.
Like you could literally buy those same 3 masks in any number of like 20 different stores. You could
Like in
find those masks.
like in the Voodoo Museum.
Yeah, these are take your boobs out anonymously masks.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
'Cause, yeah,
there are plenty of places where you can get handcrafted individual custom masks too, but these masks are not those.
yeah,
from
it's
the
just
wall
funny
wall.
because in the book they literally go to the Voodoo Museum that she opens late for shitty tourists to mess around and just steal money from them. So
Yep. So
that's
Harper,
why it's making me happy.
glad for it. Harper, go ahead and give me an occultism or probably occultism, to see if you can figure out what might have done this.
21.
So specifically invisible and strong enough to rip steel. There are invisibility is not a super common power among demons, but it is not unheard of either. Most demons have enough raw strength to rip through this kind of steel. It's unlikely that it is any that it's a common like ghost or poltergeist.
Okay.
They usually don't have enough strength to do that. Also, they wouldn't have needed to because they could go
They
through
just kind of
them.
go through. Yeah.
Yeah. You also think that the comment that Anson made that he kind of tossed off might have some basis in fact of it could have been a vampire, an actual vampire, because they wouldn't have shown up on the cameras.
Right.
So not actually invisible, but
Not caught by camera because they have no reflection.
exactly.
Did Asher he was sweeping the outside, right?
He was.
Can I take a few moments to check for either, well, two things. One, if the gate was rent by, look for fingers or claws, and two, possibly footprint or something left behind. You know, he had to step through the window he busted. So see if in the glass or another part, see if it's a shoe, an animal, what kind of footprint we're dealing with to see if we can narrow it down.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to do some physical investigating like that too. Just roam
all right,
around, keep an eye on things.
let's get another round of investigation checks then.
About the hard boil all over the place.
I wanted to take a look at the video.
Okay.
And see specifically what was going on with the door. Because they ripped through the steel. How exactly did they go through the door? Because, yeah, they didn't just rip it off.
The window was shattered.
No, I mean the door to the back room.
Oh, okay.
Because the invisible entity wasn't the one that went into the back room.
Damaged the locks before the other three went back.
Right. Okay. So, physical investigation. It does look your best guess from looking at the gate is that something roughly the size of a human fist made the initial penetration through the steel, and then it was ripped from there. So basically, a human-shaped individual punched it real hard and then started ripping it open. Because you specifically mentioned that you're looking for it, in the broken glass and kind of window display, which is presumably how the how the invisible entity entered, and definitely how the 3 masked people entered. You do see, several marks that are probably, shoes, roughly human-sized feet. But you do see a couple of what look like horse prints, like shod horse hoof prints, or indents, really, not so much prints, but
Right. A fair shape of a. Got it.
um, yeah. So, and going back to look at the video specifically with the door, the invisible entity, like you can see impacts on the door, you can see where the locks were damaged, but then the door did not open. When the three masked people went in, one of the two men went back there and was tugging and working at the damaged locks until he could get back in there.
What's the back door? What's the door to the back room made of?
It's a steel security door. And yes, Warden, it's an invisible centaur burglar.
A centaur vampire.
Centaur vampire.
Centaur.
I hate everything about that.
What are the runes protecting that door specifically?
One of the runes would prevent scrying magic from penetrating into the room. One of them was warding against demons. Why are you laughing?
I'm just, no, ignore me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Move on.
Okay. One was designed to repel demonic entities, and one was designed to repel unquiet spirits. So, ghosts and the like.
Uh-huh. Would most vampires register to magic as demonic?
No.
Okay. Because there's no reason that if it was actually trying to get in to this back room, that it shouldn't have been able to get in. Other than something about the door or the room itself prevented that from happening.
As far as you know, yeah.
Harper's just talking, kind of mumbling out loud as she's taking notes in her book.
Professor, when we leave, can you maybe track?
Hold on a second, Alex, you're on mute.
I said maybe it could get in there, but they didn't want it to get in there because it was a hammer and they needed a scalpel for the artifacts. They didn't want to risk anything getting destroyed when this brute came in.
But it did look like it was trying to get in on the video, right?
I mean, you couldn't see it, but there were definitely invisible blows that hit the door that are what damaged the locks. So it doesn't look like it was accidental. It looked like it was trying to get through the door.
Okay. Here's what happened. A vampire broke in. A centaur came in after. They got into a fight and kept knocking into the door. And then chased each other out, and that's why they didn't take anything. Was because the invisible centaur chased the vampire out.
I'm buying it. I'm here for it. Do the hoof prints line up with where the invisible entity was moving around?
Looking
at the footage and looking at the real world.
The hoof prints do not seem to extend beyond the entranceway.
Hmm.
Um,
Did they ride here on a horse and ride away?
Well, I'm wondering if the being,
Demon could be in cahoots with a vampire.
well, if the possibly, this is purely conjecture, the being was demonic, found out it couldn't enter the room because the wards, and as Harper said, left and either convinced a few people, coerced, or found some lackeys to come in and finish the job because it wasn't warded against people, sent them in to finish the job and get where it couldn't.
Asher, do you have any
Possible.
new clients that match the description of these people?
that matched the Mardi Gras mask
Yeah.
wearers.
Yeah.
No. No. Looking just at the footage, the two men are both fairly large, fairly muscular looking types. And based on the way they're moving, I assume that they're probably fairly young. I don't have any regular clientele that matches that description. I mean, they could have come into the shop while, the front area of the shop, but certainly not into the back room. And then the woman is fairly short, fairly slender, fairly slight. No, I don't recognize them at all. I certainly don't think they're previous customers.
Are there, in the video, is there any distinguishing characteristics of any of these people visible? Hair color, skin color, eye color?
Yeah. So all three of them are Caucasian.
Okay.
You can check that out. The two men, one had short, kind of dirty blonde hair. One had a little bit longer, but not long, just kind of shaggy, dark brown or black hair. I mean, it's a black and white video, so the woman had long, light colored hair. And all three of them were wearing again the kind of the kind of shirts you would buy in a souvenir shop.
Okay.
Like sweatshirts and t-shirts that are for about I was in New Orleans or Bourbon Street or
My dad went to New Orleans and all I got was this crappy shirt.
basically, yeah.
They're disguised as tourists, essentially.
Or they are tourists, yeah.
They're possessed.
Would tourists go shopping and then wear literally everything they just bought
Depends on how much you
together to
If
go
they
out
were
at
there
night?
for more than one day, possibly.
Asher, where do you advertise that you sell magical artifacts?
I don't. My clientele comes to me through word of mouth, through recommendations, and I don't allow anyone into the back room unless they are able to tell me exactly where they heard of me and who from.
Hell, I've met his children and his wife, and I don't even think I've been to the back. He's let me in the back room before.
Yeah, he would have let you in the back room. I mean, again, if he knows that you are a practitioner of magic, he absolutely would have let you in the back room. But yeah, no, but I don't advertise. It's not something the people who shop with me like the fact that I am discreet and quiet.
Do you know if you have any competition in the area? Just in case there's other people who may have been hit or may have sent them to hit you.
The Voodoo Temple has some actual practitioners there. But we don't really compete. I have plenty of competitors in terms of the antique side of my business, but none that I know of who are involved in the procurement and trade of items that are occult in nature, which doesn't mean that none of them have ever had occult objects in their shop and just not known what they were. But no, as far as I know, I don't have any enemies who would be looking to come and damage my store and my reputation.
All right, next question. The items that were taken from the back,
Yes.
were they all in the same general area? Or were they spread out throughout the back shelves or cabinets or whatever?
The stones, the dagger, and the necklace were all in the same display case.
Okay.
The grimoires were all kept underneath the counter.
And where underneath the counter in relation to the display case with the other items?
I mean, the counter is next to the display case, so they're not super far apart, but
Because we also have to take into consideration that only one of these items was actually the target and everything else was just a grab this so that they don't know.
Asher, you don't put tracking devices on your objects, do you?
no. First of all, I don't have access to that kind of technology. I'm not a super spy government agency.
Alex is like, you should just buy air tags for everything. But Anson doesn't know what air tags are.
Right. But also, the clientele who my clientele generally prefer as little technology to touch these types of artifacts as possible. My understanding is that magic and science don't play nicely together.
That's fair.
He had an exterior camera too, right?
Yes.
How did their three Mardi Gras goers arrive and leave? Do they just walk down the street in it, or?
There was no car that came up in view of the camera. So they may have had a car parked further a little bit away, but they approached on foot and left on foot.
Invisible horse.
Same direction. Invisible horse. Same direction. Came from one direction, left back the way they came, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Carrie.
Yes.
You wanna see if we can hack some cameras around here? See if you can backtrack, see where they show up.
Yeah, she's working on it.
All right.
Because
Also trying to figure out how she can scry for them.
Yeah, I could help with a spell that does that.
Yeah.
I do want to ask if there's any people that have been on the news with hooves lately.
with hooves.
The Kentucky Derby? What?
Yeah, let me Google humans with hooves.
I mean, I'm assuming they wouldn't be humans.
There's nobody in that new superhero team that's got hooves, right?
No.
I will
Anson watches a lot of news.
allow someone to make a pitch based on an expertise that they have for what they're looking for here.
Investigation. Just to see what I remember from keeping an eye on the news, looking for monsters and ways out of here.
I'll allow it, but it's going to have a penalty. So go for it.
And being really annoyed about superheroes still being a thing in this time period.
Even more of a thing.
29.
Holy moly. Okay. Nothing local, but you do remember, because you are as you said, specifically annoyed about superheroes being a thing in this place and time. You do remember hearing that over on the West Coast, there was a superhero team who had tangled with a ghostly Wild West outlaw.
Well, that sounds a lot cooler than a superhero.
So, and from what you remember reading in the newspapers, this entity, his name is Kid Grim, is capable of turning invisible and rides a demonic skeletal horse that is also able to turn invisible.
Does all of this sound really familiar?
Y'all? I think it was a demon cowboy.
Aren't all cowboys demons?
Depends on who you
What?
ask. There's a guy. I was watching the news. I remember it was one of those spandex losers was fighting him. He was a skeleton. He has a flaming horse.
Not flaming, but skeletal demonic.
Oh, skeletal and demonic.
I mean, you don't know. It could be flaming.
Sure. Why not?
And you think it was this entity because
Because of hooves and invisibility.
What? Did we fight them?
Yes, we did.
What was that?
We fought him
I
in
was
the
like,
first
what?
ever crossover adventure.
As soon as they started talking, I was like, why does that sound so familiar? Like,
I don't know what you're talking
why
about.
am I
I've
putting
never
that-
heard of it before.
Yeah, the Freedom League Dark and the Stormbreakers fought him.
Yep,
Right.
about
Yeah.
2 years ago.
As soon as he said a West Coast team, I knew it was going to be referenced to one of our adventures.
Yeah, well,
I was like, either we fought him or somebody mentioned him at some point in time. I was like, this sounds so familiar.
I know this cowboy.
okay, so you
But really, he's
think
a cowboy, and I know him.
that a demonic cowboy and his demonic horse did this crime
Why do you sound so questioning? Like, that's not a.
be
You sound very
Normal
skeptical for
thing.
somebody who lives in a superhero universe.
I 100% am not skeptical that a demon cowboy on a demon horse exists. I think I've seen one of those before. But I'm trying to get to why you think that this random entity came to this store on the other side of the country.
They didn't have what he was looking for in California? Washington. But also on account of the fire. And not the fire, but the hooves. And the invisibility and being a separate entity from the other folks.
Maybe he was trying to avoid the cold. I heard it's crazy cold up there right now.
Gonna say that the demonic cowboy and his demonic horse don't care about the cold.
I know this one. It doesn't bother
Okay,
them anyway.
so
That's
Harper will purposefully pick up her book and write down under suspects demonic cowboy and his demonic horse.
Look, maybe he was hired to steal something. He wasn't able to get into the demon repelling door, and whoever hired him hired somebody else to come after.
Honestly, I think it's a pretty solid theory. It accounts for pretty much everything we've seen.
Plus, we get to beat up a demonic cowboy.
As long as it's only the cowboy and not the horse. The horse didn't do anything wrong.
Look, I wrote it down. It's on the list.
Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Okay.
What's your idea?
Hey, Wiki,
What?
do you hate it here?
No.
Okay. We gotta try harder, guys.
Would anyone like to suggest that I also write down Herbie the Love Bug?
Yes.
He's not invisible. He's just possessed.
Herbie the Love Bug doesn't have hooves, so we can rule him out.
Herbie the Love Bug
Unless he
doesn't
was
have
riding a
hooves in
demonic
car
horse.
mode. When he transforms into the robot, he's got hooves.
Well,
Whole
he
different
could
franchise.
have been riding a demonic horse. I mean,
Look, I'm just saying. Do you have a way to track demonic horses, Harper? Is that a trick you know?
Do invisible horses lay invisible poos?
Harper's good at hunting
I'm-
demons. If it's a demon horse, I figure Harper knows what to do.
So I'm just gonna turn and walk away from Anson
is that a yes?
and go to wherever he isn't right now.
Ask Mr. Quackers.
Oh, that's a spectacularly bad idea.
No, I'm gonna stalk away and go start working on my translocation ritual. I thought it was a great idea. I don't want to hear anything when we go fight that cowboy horse. It's gonna be the best thing we did all time as a team.
You know what, you guys, I'm out of my element. I think Orvio has to help us out here. This investigation stuff is not. He's better suited to it.
That doesn't mean you're not great, D.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Something I will also allow is I will allow everyone to give me a perception check.
I was specifically going to ask to try to use my tracking
Okay.
on those tracks that we found to see if I can
You fucking kidding me?
kind of work backwards from them.
Highest score ever. I got a 3 for perception.
Wow.
To see if I can
God.
see which way they may have gone when they left.
We
Like
have
specifically.
Why is Brimstone on my screen? I swear to God, if it's a demonic cowboy, I'm leaving this game.
look, there's a handout. I'm just telling you, when there's a handout, there's fire.
Press an X underneath on Grimstone. See what's underneath.
Jim West, Desperado.
There's nothing underneath, actually.
I shared a
Anyway.
handout of both
No, you don't want nada.
Kid Grim and Brimstone.
I didn't.
Entirely.
Only Brimstone came up for me. So
Aaron,
okay.
Jemmy's here. Should I let Jemmy in?
Yeah, but I think we're probably gonna go ahead and go to break. So
I am going to go into the special room and close the door so that I can change into Orpheus.
okay.
And that is a 25 on perception, but I am specifically using it toward my tracking.
Okay. So you are able to follow the hoof prints a short distance away, and then they vanish.
Okay.
That's a teleporting demon horse.
Maybe it's a teleporting flying cowboy with hooves.
Right.
However, Harper, you're the only one who also got a high enough score on roll on perception that as you're examining the hoof prints, you do
I
get.
did.
You rolled perception twice.
I know. I gave you a hero point. So
Oh, I
I could
didn't-
re-roll because my fucking perception is 11. I was not going to take a 13.
Gotcha.
I
did-
got
Um,
26.
So both of you are able to detect the scent of brimstone in the air.
The horse or the material?
The material. Well, actually,
Yes.
perhaps both.
That thing could be two things.
Yeah. And with that, as you guys try to figure out how you want to cover the next stage of the investigation, let's go ahead and go to break and bring Jemmy in so that they can be here after break.
All right. We'll be right back after these sponsored messages. We're on break. We're live.
Welcome back, and thank you for sticking with us through our little break. Turns out that Jemmy will not be able to join us after the break as we originally expected, but that's fine because Micah is currently in the middle of teaching 10th graders how to play their instruments. We had left off with our heroes having investigated Asher Levi's antique store, learning all sorts of things about the things that were stolen, and coming to the perhaps erroneous conclusion that the break-in was initiated by Kid Grimm, a undead Old West outlaw who, well, is still an issue today. We'll see what else they manage to learn about him later. So yeah, Harper, you were trying to track the hoof prints. You determined that the hoof prints only go a few feet away from the store before they vanish. Anson, I believe you were getting ready to do a ritual of some sort.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to power stunt a ritual. Do you have to power stunt it if you do the full thing, or is hero points just for jury rigging it?
So a hero point is enough to jury rig a ritual. I mean, if you're power stunting off of your magic array, then you don't need to do the ritual rules at all.
That's right.
I was gonna say, Carrie can help. She has done it before, not in game, but has done it previously, so she would be willing to help.
Well, let's do it that way then. Let's do the actual. Or I don't have ritualist as an advantage. Never mind. I forgot. I'm Earth Prime Anson.
To clarify something, brimstone, the smell of brimstone is sulfur, right?
For the sake of Earth Prime, it is sulfurous in nature, but it is distinct from mundane sulfur enough that you can tell the difference.
All right. So a sulfur is a fairly common scent for demons, correct?
Yes.
Okay. How common is the more specific version of brimstone?
Oh, right. Still fairly common.
Okay.
Um,
Harper refuses to believe that it's a fucking demon horse and a demon cowboy. She's just not giving Anson this leap of logic.
Point of order: Kid Grimm is not a demon.
The horse is.
The horse.
Horses.
Guilty by horse association.
Oh my god.
I think when you
demonic,
turned
and the
into a
horse he rode in on.
portmanteau, when you turned it into a portmanteau, it was no longer a horse association. You made it whore association.
I said what I said.
Um,
So now we know what the horse does after midnight. Orfeo is going to open the door. Hey guys, little piece of information that might be useful that you guys didn't mention. First, those runestones in the hands of a skilled practitioner of rune magic, those can be really powerful. And the book with the Olympic spirits, the kind of whole philosophy of it is a melding of kind of biblical tradition and ancient Greek philosophy and religion.
Well, there's a connection to voodoo, because voodoo is just a blending of Catholic ideas and Western African religions. And you said that witch did No, the runes were for the Norse gods and other people.
Yeah.
I will
Well,
use
that's
extra
good,
effort,
but-
Aaron, to do some kind of sense effect.
Okay. What are you trying to determine per se?
I'm trying to read the aura of these magical items and figure out where they went.
And while you're doing it, you got to have your one hand to your forehead and the other hand reaching out.
Would you like me to assist?
Can we do a team perception check, Aaron? Based on my power stunted senses?
Probably not. If you were actually doing a ritual, then you could obviously do it together, but
Yeah, I'm trying
and
to.
your power stunting off your magic array.
Yeah,
So I'm guessing that's where I'm spending some of my hero points. Or some of my fuck, what are they called?
Power points.
Thank you.
yeah. Let me build this real quick. I've got Hero Lab open.
Okay.
Tracking spell. I've got 18 points to work with. Sorry, doing the thing. Hold, please.
And are you trying to track down the artifacts from the back room, or trying to track Kid Grim?
I'm specifically looking for the artifacts from the back room because that's the real danger.
Well, and the assumption would be that wherever those are is the thing that we are looking for.
Yeah, but Kid Grim couldn't get in there.
And if it is just a bunch of tourists wanting to be funny, we can rule them out quickly and take back what they shouldn't have.
Right. That's 6 points.
Did the three people who came in after the invisible thing, were any of them wearing gloves?
No.
I'm gonna call Arcade.
Okay.
You just see Harper out there going, fuck.
All right, Aaron, I built my thing.
Okay.
My magic array is an 18-point array.
Okay.
So I'm doing Census 12 for... I'm going to do Acute Magic Sense, Analytical Magic Sense, Magic Awareness, Detect 2 Magic, Extended 6 Magic, Tracking Magic. So that my Magic Sense is 1,000,000 times stronger than it usually is.
Okay.
And I'm adding Enhanced Trait 4 to that effect as well. To add Perception plus 7.
Okay.
So sad you don't roll reliability for this.
No reliability. My magic works now, damn it.
Give me a perception plus 7 check.
All right, I'm going to bake that into the roll here.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to spend my hero point to re-roll it because I'm going to take the fatigue for the power stunt.
Okay.
Since I did not do all that work to get a plus 15 perception to roll a 19. 35.
35. Wow.
It's as good as I could do.
Yeah, no, I mean, so trying to track the magical auras from the back room. You can, well, describe what the ritual looks like first.
Yeah, so I go into the back room. I hold the Tartarin diamond around my neck. I clench my fist around it and I close my eyes, and they illuminate with pure white light as I scan all of the objects that have been in this room and lock in on the exact mystical trait or mystical aura that they are broadcasting.
Okay.
And then I just get a sense of where I need to go.
I see.
All right, so, let me
And I did have enough points left over for penetrates concealment if I need penetrates concealment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a. I mean, you got a 35. I'm not gonna.
It's behind a wall. You're stuck.
I'm not gonna jerk you around here.
Thank you.
Where is my map? I have a map. I love my map.
There are many maps like it, but this one is mine.
Okay. So the auras are headed away from the shops in the quarter and back onto the main drive where like hotels are. Go fig.
Are they actually tourists? That'd be crazy.
Not if they were coerced in some way to do it.
Oh, what if Kid Grim put them up to this?
Possession.
Would you quit it with the cowboy?
I mean, he couldn't get in, so he has to find help.
Let's just... All right, I know where they are. Let's go talk to these folks. We'll find out one way or another soon enough.
All right. Are you going to tell Asher? I mean, are you saying anything to Asher or just heading out or?
It feels completely in character for me not to say anything to him as I walk out.
That works for me.
Professor, are you good?
Of course, once he shares the information with us, I will share it with Asher.
Yep, I know where the danger is. I'm going. Come on.
All right, so you are following the trail. The trail seems to be intentionally meandery, like goes down side streets, comes back up another side street, but it is leading you over towards Canal Street. And to, well, specifically right near Canal and Decatur is the New Orleans Marriott.
We go to a lot of hotels in this game.
Yeah. And it will take you right to the front doors of the New Orleans Marriott. You want to keep following it?
Yeah,
and who else with you?
I'm in.
I'm going.
Did everyone follow?
I will follow slightly late.
Okay.
Because I'm going to stay around long enough to make my phone call to Arcade to have them send
people to come print
actual crime scene techs
right
to come print the place.
Okay.
And let Asher know that is what is happening.
Okay.
That I got somebody coming to print the place.
Okay.
And then I will follow along behind.
All right. So you go in through the hotel doors, go in through the lobby. And you're actually seeing it, you're being pulled over to not the elevator, but the stairwell.
That's fair. I don't want to talk to the elevator guy anyway.
Huh?
That's fair. I don't want to talk to the elevator guy anyway.
Oh, you are anachronistic little thing, you. So you follow the trail to the stairwell, and it's actually taking you down.
Interesting. I feel it down there, guys.
So Carrie's gonna be like, so like, why don't we, before we just go barging in, why don't we see if there's any sort of cameras around where we can kind of see what we're working with?
That's a good idea.
Because some of us are, just full human. and fragile human at that. So, like, maybe we can like test the waters before we just go barging in wholeheartedly.
It's not how I typically do things, but I support you.
I guess.
I'm not there yet, so.
With how you drive, you got here at the same time as we did.
You caught up to the church bus.
Oh, this was
Who said
probably
I-
all done on foot.
Yeah, I'm
I
not.
was gonna say, who said I drove anywhere?
Yeah, I feel like Anson just stomped there
Well, and it's not that far.
with just like a trail of people behind him, just like trying to keep up, and he's just stomping his way there.
Stomp, 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 stomp.
Um,
So, what do you need me to do to see if there are cameras?
I mean, there definitely are cameras. However, they're not super pervasive. You know, there would be cameras in the lobby.
Right.
There would be cameras in like several of the secured areas. There obviously are not cameras in the rooms.
Right. But I
And-
figure in hallways, or if it's in the basement, I assume that's probably where they keep a lot of the electrical equipment. So like
Yeah.
they would want to keep an eye on like the internet, like
Yeah.
the router, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so give me investigation or technology, your choice.
Well, technology is 14, so I'm gonna go with technology.
Sure.
22.
22. All right, so you're able, and you guys have a timestamp of when the robbery occurred in Asher's shop. So you're able to kind of cross-reference that to then see looking for 3 people coming in after that. And you do see them. You do see them enter. They are no longer wearing their Mardi Gras masks, so you do have photos of their faces.
She'll take screenshots and send it to Arcade.
Sure. You'll see that they get onto the elevator, go up to the 12th floor, all go into one room, and about an hour later come out of that room and go over to the stairwell. And that's the last you can find any record of them on any of the cameras.
Entered the hotel or left their room. Were they carrying anything?
Yeah, they were carrying, kind of hard to make out, but like a bundle of stuff in their arms.
Mm.
And they had it with them when they were going over to
The stairwell.
So did they enter the stairwell and then they never showed up again on another camera, or
Yeah.
I lose them right before they enter?
They glitch
No,
out.
you see them go into the stairwell, but there's no
Okay.
cameras in the stairwell. And
That's a super safety concern. That's a stupid hotel.
and then scrolling through the cameras on all of the floors, you can't figure out where they would have
Where they
been.
came out. Okay.
Yeah.
So the assumption is in the basement, but there's no like good cameras in the basement area.
Nope.
Cool. I will obviously relay all this information that I am also blind in that area, but I could send one of my drones.
Do you want to attach it to me? I'm happy to go down there.
I'm trying to avoid casualties, so like, just
That's when I show up and go, yeah,
I'll
but
go
he's
with you.
immortal.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Don't worry.
I'll go with you.
I just sort of pop up in the right behind you. And
Yeah,
go, yeah,
I
but he's
fe-
immortal.
I feel like Carrie does exactly what Dwight does when what's her name pops up behind him. She's just like, fuck, like oh. Oh God. So Carrie's just like, you okay? And just like it's not really gonna fight either, any of you. So
Don't, Carrie, I appreciate that you're worried about my well-being, but I will be fine, I promise. Is it just some kid tourists, right? They'll be fine.
I mean, they look like they're probably, once Carrie pulled up the video of them, without their Mardi Gras masks on, they look like they're probably in their early-ish 20s.
Like drinking age, at least.
Yeah, definitely drinking age.
How would you get an invisible demonic horse down the stairs anyway, right?
Right. Horses are like cows. They can go downstairs, but not up them. Other way around.
Remember, though, we also are dealing with a ghost cowboy, so I'll go. I'll go with you.
Yeah, we'll be fine. We're immortal.
Okay.
Someday I'll have to survive the heat death of the universe. That'll be fine.
I'll stay here with the emotional support priest and the professor.
Yeah, Carrie's having some flashbacks, so that's kind of why she's like not wanting anyone to go in there.
Scream if you need me to come punch anything.
Cool.
Do you want us to scream if we think you want to come punch something, just in case we don't need you to
I
punch
always
something?
want to come punch everything. So
Awesome.
whatever.
All right, well, come on, Orfeo. Let's go down there and sort this
Now,
out.
like D, Orfeo is going to take your arm, but this time, it's not. Orfeo isn't inserting his arm into yours. He's placed your arm into his.
Now, feller, I'm not versatile like that.
Oh God.
The
Carrie
best
will
part
just
is
kind
that,
of, she'll just kind of grab onto like both, not obviously not. She'll grab onto Harper and the priest's kind of arms, just like trying to calm herself down. Like she's just like ready to explode and just start screaming and panic, but she's like trying to hold it together.
Just trust him. It'll be fine.
When Anson says that, oh, okay, I guess I can let you be on top, and he'll put his arm
Thank you.
underneath yours.
That's all I want.
All right.
If you two are done flirting, could you?
Carrie's like, let me make a note of that.
Harper, you've known me long enough, Tina, to know that I'm never done flirting.
Oh.
Let's go kill some tourists. I'm gonna go downstairs.
All right. So you descend down into the basement. You don't even have to go out of the stairwell as you descend down into the basement before you find something. And I'm not even going to ask for a perception check because it's pretty obvious what you find.
I'm going to say dead bodies.
Is it a flaming horse?
No, it is not a flaming horse.
Damn it.
There are two corpses. The two men.
Oh dear.
It looks like one of them had their throat cut. And the other one appears to have been a victim of spontaneous combustion.
I'm assuming Carrie did turn the cameras on. I mean, I'm Carrie. Like,
I'm assuming
I turned the cameras on.
You've got a drone down there with them, sure.
Yeah, Carrie's just gonna like basically push Harper and just say, "Go with them."
Hey, we found a dead body or two.
Oh, well, look at that. Isn't that fantastic? I could have told you that's what you were going to find down here.
Are the artifacts here?
So looking around, you will see that the rune stones are here. And the Icelandic grimoire, the
fart spell.
Yes. The Galdrabach is there, and the Sefer Harazim is there. The dagger is not there, the talisman necklace is not there, and the Arbitel de Magia Veterum is not there.
Well, I will.
These idiots read the Latin out loud.
Maybe.
That's
The
actually
woman is not there.
The what?
The woman of the trio is not there.
Never good when they take a female for sacrifice.
Do y'all reckon we have an hour to rest here?
Wherever the dagger and the arbitel and the talisman, if the talisman had its own magical aura, it may not have, since Harper basically told you that it's
a doodad.
I mean, it's in D&D
It's
terms,
like-
it's a holy symbol.
yeah, it's
So-
like a crucifix
A
or
focus.
Yeah.
Star of David or
it could be used as a focus for magic, but it is in and of itself, it is not magical.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dagger, the necklace, and the arbitel are not here. The runestones, and the other two books are.
other than the talisman. The other two books were the ones that were in Latin.
The Galderbach was mostly in Icelandic.
Okay.
The Safer was in a mix of Latin and Hebrew.
Okay. Okay, so did they leave behind the white magic book? Is that the one they left behind?
No, the one they took was the Arbitel, which is the one that is noted for being white magic.
Okay, hold on. I need to go look at the books again. Okay. So they left behind the one they left behind the one with the fart magic?
They left behind the Icelandic fart magic, and they left behind
Awesome.
the Jewish Kabbalah text.
Okay. I'm gonna just slip the fart magic book into my bag specifically.
For a reason.
He'll get it. He'll get it back when I'm done reading it.
Yeah. Well, y'all, with if you think we have an hour to rest here, I could probably ask these guys what happened.
Don't believe we're in a rush for any reason.
Because I'll have to go exhausted in game terms, but if we can rest for an hour, I'll just be fatigued again.
Sure. And I'm going to call Arcade again.
Well,
I'm going to be the responsible one.
I
Hey,
mean,
we
to
got
be
dead
fair,
bodies.
we've been really suspicious. So how did the lobby people feel about this? So because
I
Karen
didn't
will come out of the stairwell and like mainly because she's in a wheelchair, so it's already suspicious that she would have been at the stairwell to begin with. But she's gonna come out and is gonna kind of look around because I mean they just like barged into the hotel without like stopping at the lobby, and she's obviously never seen us before.
Sure, but this is a large hotel.
Okay.
It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, which means a lot of people are currently in the process of checking out.
Okay.
And I'm assuming that Anson at least was walking like he has every right to be wherever the hell he is.
Oh, yeah, no.
I know, but it just seems really suspicious to have one dude really beelining it straight to a stairwell and then just like a ant line of people coming behind.
I mean, they probably think I'm here to see a hooker with how I'm acting.
Look, Harvard is like, wait, you morons came in through the front door?
Oh God. Here's like,
Well,
people
yeah.
know me here. Like, I have a reputation.
All right, so when
don't you remember when you were in the lobby with all of us?
when Harper calls Arcade,
Mhm.
they will respond by telling you that they've got a few contacts within the local police, and they're going to get them there immediately to put tape up around to keep people away from coming from the stairwell. and the director will call the hotel manager to explain away what you're doing.
Okay, cool.
Looking for a gas leak.
Professor, can you look, or at least breeze through the outside cameras to see if the female left at any point? Or if she is still in the building somewhere?
She can. Time, I guess she can calculate in time how
I mean, you've
long
got
it would.
plenty of time because if Anson is resting for an hour,
Yeah, Carrie, I figured Carrie left the stairwell with Larry and probably is like sitting in like the breakfasty area. Like I assume they have some sort of like
yeah.
continental breakfast area that she's just kind of sitting in.
Oh, they have a very nice one, and there's plenty of people. There are other people there sitting there with laptops, so no one pays any attention to you and Larry sitting there over a laptop.
Okay.
There's some coffee and I'll eat an apple.
Orpheus is giving a nice, relaxing back rub to Anson as he's working
That's
to help him
nice.
focus.
Okay.
Okay.
Eventually, yeah. Shortly after Harper makes the call, the area is cordoned off, and
Does Carrie know any of the officers that are there?
probably not.
Okay.
But all right, so I'm not going to ask for a new roll. Looking at the cameras, there is. Let me backtrack something. What exactly was your the magic you were doing, Anson? Had acute
analytical awareness extended times 6.
Okay.
Detect magic.
The analytical part of it would tell you that when down here in the bottom of the stairwell, one of the magical auras that you had been tracking flares up, did cast a spell that matches the same signature, which is what incinerated the one guy. And then there was a teleportation spell.
Interesting.
There is no video evidence of the woman leaving the building.
I will relay the information I received to the group as well about the teleportation spell and the one of these objects sets people on fire. Just heads up.
All right, so after your hour of rest, what are you doing next?
I'm gonna power stunt, comprehend, speak to the dead.
Okay.
This is something that actually happened in the book.
I like it. All right. So you can talk to these two corpses.
Yeah, I'll give them a good little pat on the cheek. Wake up.
It's like pushing daisies. If you touch them again, are they going to go back down?
Oh, they'll go back down after I'm done talking to them.
Well, and it's not like pushing daisies. They don't actually animate. They just talk.
Okay.
All right. So what are you saying to them?
Yeah, so I pull out a candle from one of my pockets. I put it down. It ignites with a white candle flame, and I breathe a little bit of air into both of them, and they'll exhale loudly. I'll say, "Hey guys."
Lots of coughing from the one who was incinerated.
Yeah, bad news.
Oh God, can they feel the pain?
Oh yeah, they can.
Oh, Carrie doesn't like this at
That's all
all.
the screaming's about.
Hey, fellers. I got bad news for you. You're dead. But I have a few questions for you. What were you doing stealing shit from Asher's pawn shop?
Um, so the non-incinerated one says, if that was the name, we we were coming back towards our hotel from drinking, and we saw that the window was busted up, and me and Henry thought, hey, what if we could you know go in there and see if there's anything that we could take, and Josephine's always been easy to convince to do whatever I want her to do. And so she agreed, and yeah, so we put on those the I mean, we were just looking for some cash and stuff. Um,
You know what happened to Josephine?
so yeah, we came back. We were up in our room, and looking through all the stuff that we grabbed, and uh, she was looking at let's see, at the vase that we took and at some of the jewelry, and was fiddling with the dagger and or the knife. You wouldn't say dagger. The knife, and then she kind of yelped, and then she said that we should uh well, I guess there's no point in being ashamed of it anymore. She said we should go down into the basement and fool around with some of the stuff, because she was looking at the books and thought that we could do some cool shit with it. And I mean, I don't know. I thought maybe there was like summoning a succubus or something that she could do. And so we go down, and then next thing I know, because I open the door and she's behind me, and then I feel this real sharp stinging pain on the neck, and then just I slumped, and as I'm slumping, I saw that she was saying these words in, I don't know, like uh, what do they call it? Irish. Uh, and yeah, then Henry just went up in flames, and that's the last thing I saw.
Ever read the books out loud?
Did you?
Did he say Josephine?
Yes.
Yeah. Y'all got first and last names?
Uh, uh, yeah.
You can't get in any more trouble when you're already in, son. Tell me what they are.
I mean, Henry, his last name's Baker. Uh, Josephine Blackwell, and I was Freddie Lopez.
Where are y'all from?
Oh, we were all three of us were students at UMass.
Mm.
You said Josephine yelped before she suddenly wanted to come down here?
Yeah. I mean, I was looking at the guns, so I don't know exactly what she was doing. Like I said, she was looking at the jewelry and the books and fiddling with the knife.
And was this in the store? This is me for clarification. Is he saying that this was in the store that she was doing that? Or
No,
after they had taken
back in
the
their
stuff?
room.
Okay.
Well, boys, is there anywhere nearby that you think she would go if she was in trouble? Mississippi's not far from here, right?
What?
Mississippi's not far from here, right?
Not real far. But I mean, I I guess she'd probably call her daddy if she thought she was in trouble.
Well, you've been very helpful. Anybody else got any questions for the dead felons here?
Did Josephine sound any different when she suggested you guys come down here?
I mean, we were all pretty drunk.
I mean, physically sound different.
I mean, it was still her voice.
Okay.
Although, I mean, now that I think about it, I can't remember the last time she actually suggested something that we do.
What's your relationship with Josephine?
Oh, I was fucking her.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Goodness gracious.
What did
Oh,
Josephine
gee
go to school
golly.
for?
Outright with it.
What was Josephine in school for?
You know, I don't know.
Of course you don't know. Re-kill this
Jesus.
bastard, please.
Yeah, just so you know, son, your dick doesn't get wet in hell. And I snap him back to death. And I'll take my fatigue back.
Possession, right? We're all there, right?
Yeah, I think possession. Possession by an angry
Okay.
witch in the dagger. What's that got to do with Kid Graham?
Not a cowboy?
I don't know that it's the dagger.
Maybe the cowboy possessed her.
I thought the dagger belonged to the Irish witch, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did, but she
Didn't you say-
survived.
And didn't he say that she was she was reading from the books?
Yeah, he also
and
said
then
that she
got the
started
idea?
speaking Irish.
Yeah, well, he was also an idiot, so it could have been literally any language.
That's fair.
The language that the book that is still missing,
Mm-hmm.
you said it was Icelandic mainly?
No, that's
No.
the Galdra book is mostly Icelandic.
I do not know why I can't keep these books straight.
It's fine.
Yeah, dude, you're like real struggling. You even wrote them down.
I didn't write the books down, actually.
Oh.
The Arbitel is
It's-
in Latin.
Yeah, and it's
Okay.
straightforward. Like the author is unknown.
But
like-
it's very positive in its contents.
Yeah.
And
so I don't think that book would have been what it was.
Unless the book is actually a cipher.
Like it reads one way,
No,
but it
but-
actually means another way.
Yeah, essentially. It's a code
Mm-hmm.
to keep it from being, of interest to the wrong people. Because seriously, nobody writes just the positive shit. Even the goodest of the good witches write down darker magic.
I mean, to be fair, Glenda was the good witch, and she also let the other one die by having a house fall on her. So
Yeah, she summoned a child soldier from Earth.
yeah, so good is a relative
Right.
term.
So I'm not going to rule out the book, and some idiot college jock who doesn't even know what his girlfriend's going to school for could
Technically, he didn't
definitely
say it was his girlfriend.
think that Latin is Irish or something.
Yeah, that's fair. Doesn't give us a lot to work on, though. That there was a teleportation spell.
Very noticeably and specifically did not call her his girlfriend.
Yeah. It was a hard no on the girlfriend. Although I do feel like of anybody of that group, it was definitely going to be her that got picked. If she was meek and a follower, it's like the easiest thing for them to grasp onto is that person.
Yeah, I mean, she only slit his throat. I wonder what the guy she set on fire did to piss her off.
I mean, he could have just looked at her, to be fair. But Carrie would have, during that hour, would have set her programming to, since she has the faces of of them walking in, she would have, obviously, knowing that the two men were dead, she was gonna set the cameras for the city to look for Josephine's face.
Okay.
I mean, she sent the photos to Arcade, assuming they could do it, but she figures her programming could go faster.
Probably. Sure.
This particular book, manuscript, grimoire, whatever we're calling it, is this one that had copies made of it? You know, copies made of it for, all the new age people out in the world?
Yes. The Arbitel has been reprinted and again can be found, not at Barnes and Noble, but you can definitely.
I am going to head for the nearest occult bookshop.
Okay.
And see if I can find a copy.
Okay. What are the rest of y'all doing?
Well, if we don't have an
Harper
immediate,
just goes, I'm
don't have
going
a-
book shopping, and walks off.
if we don't have an immediate destination, I'm just going to rest for an hour and hang out with Carrie and Orpheus.
Actually, she'll go, Larry, with me.
Okay.
Larry's like, I'm just here for the ride. Yeah, now that Carrie has a name, she's also going to go through and search for the name, the student's name, with what little information she has. I'm assuming, though, she could find a directory.
Yeah.
And being a professor, I'm sure even if she called to get more information, she could just act like a professor.
So all three of them were in fact students at UMass. They were all seniors. For the record, Josephine was in elementary ed.
Should they have eaten her alive?
Probably. Henry was studying accounting. And Freddie was computer science.
And Henry was the one that got barbecued?
Henry was the one who got barbecued. Freddie is the one you were talking to.
He had his throat slit.
Yes.
Carrie will turn to Anson and be like, I will just like take his camera from him so that she can kind of upload the images as like crime scene photos to see if she's able to determine anything about the wound patterns of any kind, like to determine whether or not really it was the dagger we're looking for, or if it was she was possessed into doing it with something else in her hand.
Go ahead and give me an
We're making the assumption that it was the dagger that did it.
Right. Give me an investigation check.
Is this something I can assist with, Aaron, since it's sort of...
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
look at
this is
woman?
mundane investigation stuff.
So who goes first?
I'll go first since I'm assisting.
Okay. Usually I'm the assister, so I don't ever know what to do.
30. I'll give you a
Fuck.
+5 to your bonus.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God, I have
Rolled
two
a
more
2.
I have 2 more hero points. You can fucking... God damn it. My investigation
No,
is 10
no,
for
no,
Christ's sake.
no. Don't spend the hero point. Have a luck point.
Oh,
Well,
I was
it
gonna say-
is 10.
It is
almost,
9:30.
or it is 9:30, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have 2. I don't know how I have so many.
I assumed you gave yourself one for...
Yeah.
Oh, I did not. I didn't even get... I was gonna give it to Harper.
Oh,
I'm
Harper's already got 3.
When I am not the one that's doing the fighting, I will give it to the person that's doing the fighting.
Fair.
Are you
Anyway.
fucking kidding me?
Well, that
So-
becomes much better.
I know, but it's just really annoying.
So,
So what is that, a 23 plus his 5, so 28?
yep. Which, is funny because it means it's still less than he rolled.
Oh, such fucking ridiculousness. I'm so mad. I'm like, all the ones where I'm like super high and it's like, I'm gonna roll a 2.
Yep. It be like that sometimes.
They do.
So, no, the blood splatter does correspond with someone taking a sharp bladed object and cutting a throat from behind. The arterial spray does follow that tracking.
Oh, okay. Cut from behind.
Yeah. Freddie said that.
Oh, I didn't hear him say
behind him, and then he felt a sharp stinging pain in his neck, and
I don't know why I was thinking like that's not what I was thinking was happening. So okay, that makes sense. I guess he wouldn't know he was cut from behind. He would just know all of a sudden it was ouchy.
And now I'm here.
Oh fuck, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Basically. However, while the blood spray, that corresponds that his throat was cut by something sharp, probably a knife. There are other markings of the blood that suggest that there are drips of blood that suggest that some of his blood was either on someone's hand or cupped or something and dripped to the floor.
So someone tried to stop it.
Or put her hand into his blood or something.
And
Someone
used it
tried
to
to
cast
use
a
it.
teleportation spell.
Yeah.
Blood magic.
This is bad news.
Yep. And for the
I
record,
will also tell you that none of the mundane items that were stolen are down here in the basement.
So Carrie will go to the front desk and see if she is able to rent the entire 12th floor.
where you could just ask our police contact to find out what room they were in.
Or you have camera footage of which room they were in.
No, she wants to rent the entire floor because she doesn't want anyone anywhere near anything up there.
I mean, the problem is that it's, there's lots of people who are already checked into rooms on that floor.
Yes, and she has lots of money.
Yeah, but
How much do I have to pay you to inconvenience these plebeians?
Yeah, how much do I have to pay you to tell them that something is wrong with their room and you have to move them to a different floor? She will bribe who she needs to bribe. Money means nothing to her.
all right.
I knew there was a reason I liked you so much, Carrie.
I will allow you to make a persuasion check with a +5 for the absolutely obscene amount of money you can throw at this issue.
Can it be deception? Can I be deceiving? I'm not
No.
displacing the pores. I am putting the pores in a different location.
No.
Okay,
No,
Marie
because
Antoinette.
you're using
One
the
of
term pores.
One of
Yeah,
every one
I
of
am-
the characters. Every
I am
single one.
responding to Warden Maximus, who is telling me that I am displacing the pores, and I am telling them I am not. I am merely adjusting them.
I am not going to allow you to use deception. I will allow you to use intimidation instead of persuasion, but
No.
I will not allow deception because you're being pretty straightforward about what you want.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just my deception is better. My intimidation is not good, so we're not going to go with intimidation.
I kind of want to see you intimidate this. I kind of want to see that happen.
I mean, to be fair, she's like a doctor and a professor. Like, she could get like all like uppity and shit.
Yeah.
But
can
yeah,
turn
no,
all
her
over the
intimidation is 3, so we're not going to try and intimidate. Okay, so here goes persuasion.
+5.
+5. Oh my god.
If you had used intimidation, I would be calling you Karen for the rest of the King
Can
and
I'm gonna use a hero point. I don't even
All
care.
right.
I'm gonna use a hero point and roll that again.
For those playing along at home, that was a 4 on the die for a total of 9.
Yep.
Damn.
So a
Which
14
is
after the
her
+5.
total and her answer.
All right, so but that becomes a 19 +5 is 24.
The fact
Oh
you
my
did it
God.
again.
Oh my god, it's the snowballs all over again.
It really is.
Oh,
Not the
Okay.
snowballs.
fucking snowballs, man.
You can convince them to evacuate that wing.
I'm not trying to get rid of them. I just want her to tell them that they're just something is wrong with the room and they need to be moved.
I'm not trying to get rid of them. I just want them to go away.
I
Just
want
offer
them
to upgrade
move.
everybody's room.
I just want, like tell them like the smoke detectors don't work or something, and just like move them to a different room.
They are willing to relocate the entire wing of the 12th floor where their room is, but not the other half of the floor.
With
Okay,
that roll,
that's
they're
fine.
just going to say, please stop calling him the pores.
Well, I can't call them the rich.
And Carrie will then say, put a night's for them on her tab as well. Like they'll get a free night on her as well. So money is no object.
Right. All right. So you've evacuated all of the rooms that are close to their room.
Yeah, kind of like around, like in the vicinity of the room that we know.
Like I said, that entire wing.
Perfect.
Bribe the pores.
Somewhere out on the street, Harper stops, turns to Larry and goes, "Why?" And then turns around and starts walking.
What?
Okay.
Let's go find a book.
And I assume then is someone going to try to get into the room?
Oh, Carrie's just gonna go up there because she's assuming she can just get into it now.
Sure.
If going with Carrie still constitutes rest, I'll go with Carrie. But otherwise, I'll hang out here in the lobby.
I mean, you're walking.
I've got skates on the back of my. You can just like stand on the back of my wheelchair.
Yeah.
Does
I'll
your
say
handlebars have a bell?
I will scoop Anson up in my arms and carry him.
I could fireman carry him in my lap.
I still want pegs on the back of your wheelchair like a little kid's bike.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right. So
I'm not infirm. I can walk.
No, I mean, I know, but this is so much more fun.
Get on the pegs, wizard. We're going upstairs.
All right. So you can get up into their room. Up in their room, you will discover that the guns, the antique musket, the vase, all 3 necklaces, both rings, and the brooch are there.
Wait, all the necklaces, like even the one that is not really real, but
No, all of the necklaces that were taken out of the
non-specified necklaces.
yes. Although I do have pictures if you would like to see them. However, the book of coins is not there.
Basically, the things that the demon cowboy thought were useless.
Like I said,
a demon cowboy would like guns.
everything except for the book of coins is in the room. The missing or the talisman necklace is not here, however. Nor is the magic book that was not downstairs. The Arbitel. Give me perception or investigation, anyone who's up in that room.
I swear to all the gods.
23.
Take my last hero point. We're finally in a position where like I can actually be helpful and fucking can't be goddamn helpful.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend a hero point too.
All right.
26.
27.
All right. And Anson had a 23. Orpheus, you as you know, you're looking around through the room, finding that all of the mundane objects other than the book of coins are here. You do notice that there is a single drop of, well, like a bloodstained drop on the pillow of one of the beds.
Okay.
That is, I mean, it's dry, but it's red, so it hasn't been here for a real long time.
I'm gonna point that out.
Is it a rounded droplet or does it look like it has spray? Does it look like it was like a bloody nose, like it just dropped straight down from something, or does it have a tail?
It does not have spray. It looks like it was just a drop of blood that fell down.
Straight drop. Okay. But it doesn't seem like anything has been disturbed. Nothing is like out of place. They've
I mean,
not.
they were slobs. Their suitcases are thrown open. There's dirty clothes on the ground. There are some other stains on the bedspread that you don't want to identify.
Yeah, hard pass.
Oh, we're looking over it with a black light. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, do I have that? What do I have in? I forget what I have in my backpack. What do I have in my backpack? Oh, I don't have a black light in my backpack.
Yeah, you don't want to.
I do have some restraints though.
Funny enough, there's restraints in the room too.
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh, they really like to have fun.
Do we find hoof prints in the carpet?
You do not find hoof prints in the carpet now.
No dumb questions. But it doesn't look like anything. Like it doesn't look outside of just like people staying in a hotel room. It doesn't look like
it doesn't look like it was broken into or no.
Like no one was startled or like, because I'm thinking like they suddenly left the room. We couldn't see if something was telling them to leave the room because if the thing was invisible before, it would obviously be invisible again. So that's why I was like, does it look like something came in and like startled them or broke anything or damaged anything?
I was gonna say, did anyone actually roll perception instead of investigation?
I did.
Okay. I will point out that you do not smell brimstone.
Okay.
You do smell the very greasy room service burger and fries that are sitting on the one of the tables in the room. That was half eaten.
I lose my legs and I just like get an aggressively smelly nose. Like I like that trade-off.
But yeah, no brimstone.
Okay.
So. And cutting away, Harper, you and Larry are able to walk back down into the quarter and find one of the voodoo shops. And yeah, a copy of the Arbitel translated into English is on the shelves.
Purchase that and one of the talismans, because I'm sure they have one.
Oh yeah.
I have a copy that's not translated.
No, man. I mean, no. Sorry.
It's fine. I'll also take this. and she'll buy one of the necklace of the talisman.
I mean, for the record, the English translation is in parallel with the Latin text. So
yeah.
Okay.
So the Latin text is still there, but
it's translated for the 99% of people that don't read Latin.
right.
More, but if you're looking for a cipher, you lose some in
You need
translation.
you need the original language, but even if we hadn't had it, it would have been at least a place to start.
Fair.
Sure.
Because we could, backwards translate. Okay, so I'll buy those two things, and then head back.
Why do I feel like Harper would have stolen Carrie's credit card without her knowing?
But yeah,
Don't know what you're talking about.
Why would you need to do that? You just use Micah's.
Oh, that's true.
No, Micah's a teacher.
I was gonna say,
Harper would not do that.
I mean, to be fair, Carrie probably wouldn't even have noticed.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Harper wouldn't do that. Who wants a maxed out credit card?
It's a black card. There is no limit.
Yeah, I'm talking about the teacher's credit card.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no shit.
Okay, and so the other thing you're buying is a necklace with the Veva of Papa Legaba on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she will just add that to her jumble of necklaces.
Sure.
Just in case we need it. I have it. And it's not one that she Larry, you will actually, as she's putting this necklace on, you will have a chance to actually sort of look at the whole jumble of necklaces that she's wearing, and most of them are if they have pendants on them, most of the pendants are sort of religious, spiritual, faith-based in nature, and it's like the whole gamut of.
Now I'm seeing Harper in that scene from The Mummy.
I recognize.
I mean, kind of like that,
90%
but
of them,
not in that same way.
No,
Yeah.
but
what's funny, Wiki, is
kind of
Anson
like
has
that,
one of
yeah.
those too.
But they're all different necklaces, and they hang at different lengths, and it's.
Do you want me to start going through the book while we walk back?
No, we should sit. We should start in a place where we can sit and take notes and work together.
Gary has an entire floor or a half a floor of plenty of rooms that everyone can get into.
All right. So, as you are making your way back to the hotel, Anson is resting. You guys are rifling through the stuff and finding that most of the stolen property is here. Like I said, the notable things that are missing is the Arbitel, the dagger, the talisman necklace, and the book of coins. As you're settling in for the next stage of your investigation / research, you will all get a text from Micah that says, "What the hell did I miss?" We will pick up there next time. Because it is 9:50.
Yeah, Carrie will text Asher and kind of let him know, send him photos of like the stuff that they're finding, and let him not really tell him everything, but just like tell him like, here's what we've found so far, and kind of just leave it at that.
Okay. He will text back that if you're at all able to find the book of coins, he would really appreciate it, because in terms of monetary value, those and the vase are probably the most valuable things that were taken in terms of just money. The vase is there, but All right. So, thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate you sticking with our band of ne'er-do-wells as they investigate. I'm sure nothing bad is going on with the dagger or the ghost cowboy. Around our network, tomorrow, the Titan City Thanksgiving will be back with Alex in our GM seat. We should have a new blog post up on Thursday where Alex is going to be sharing thoughts about what other GMs can learn from Marvel's Midnight Suns game. And over on our Patreon on Friday, there will be information from the Legends of Tomorrow game that we ran for all, or not all, but for some of our Patreon subscribers. Of course, if you would like to get access to that or be invited to future actual plays with our cast, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/Untold Stories Project. And now, heroes, do you have anything you would like to plug or say to our audience before we run away for the evening? And we'll start again with Brandon.
As usual, I don't have anything to plug. Really hoping my students don't have to wait for 30 minutes for their bus in sub-zero temperatures tomorrow morning. But we won't know that till the morning. So until we see each other next, be kind to people, especially yourself. Alex?
Well, thank you everybody for hanging out with us here tonight. I'm really looking forward to the Titan City stuff tomorrow, even though it's Thanksgiving part 2, and then there's 2 more weeks of stuff after that, not related to Thanksgiving. But you know what? A one-shot's a one-shot, whatever you call it.
1.5 shot.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's gonna be great. Yeah, so keep an eye there. And if you haven't had a chance to look yet, there is a new adaptation of Mutants and Masterminds coming to Kickstarter next Tuesday. Steve and I have been hard at work creating the Valiant Adventures role-playing game, which is a version of Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition that has been adapted for the gritty Valiant comic book universe. So head over to Kickstarter and get ready to back that next week. It's going to be really big. There's a lot of fun new rules coming, and it'll be your first chance to see some new M&M stuff. So check that out. And I'll pass it over to Wiki.
I've got nothing to plug and nothing really to say except thank you for joining us. We hope you come back next week. And also, taking notes is fun because you get to put weird stickers on the pages. That's all I got. And Puppy.
I don't really have anything. I'm just I need all the good vibes you can send as I am slowly processing my way through writing my very first one shot that I will do at Origins, maybe. Possibly. Because right now it's a temporary title and a hold on there, so it's not written in stone yet. So, right, Alex? It's not written in stone, right?
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, I will pass it over to Deuce.
It's going to be amazing. You got this. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. However you do, don't forget to use the code USP North. Save yourself a little extra money for dice because they're awesome and so are you. You deserve to give yourself something cool. It's cold out there. It's slick out there. So don't pretend to be a speedster. Slow down. Don't play a speedster. They suck too. And with that, back to Aaron.
Well, that is it for those of us here at the Untold Stories Project. Until next time, be careful out there and make sure that you don't run into something in the dark. Bye.
Upward capital.
Boo capitalism.
And we're off.